So my name's Ken Finnan, and my job is to get you past all the exams. And the number one question I get before I do my live, so I'm hoping to save some time and make it less chaotic, is what do I do? I'm taking the test tomorrow or 2 weeks or whatever it is. So let's, first of all, if you're taking it tomorrow, too late, you're fucked. Okay? No, I'm kidding around. Get some sleep. If you're taking it tomorrow, you should not be on my live. You should be getting sleep and you should be going over customer accounts. Literally any exam you take, literally any exam, you should probably read customer accounts. I have crash course videos you can watch, playlists you can watch. Go watch those and get some sleep. If you have a significant other, make sure they do the right thing or ask them to do the right thing. And you don't want to make them do anything, but you ask them. Just massage, that's all I'm talking about. Just keep it relaxed, no fighting, stuff like that. Now, if you're taking it beyond tomorrow, so if you're taking it tomorrow, what are you doing out here? Get off here, click and get out of here. If you're taking it beyond tomorrow, so let's say you're taking it in 2 days. Tomorrow is no testing. It's adding knowledge, reading customer accounts, going over videos, hopefully my crash course videos or others. Bottom line is you don't want to stress yourself out. You don't want to take a test. I'm not a fan of testing. Some people like it. I disagree with it because if you go bad, there's no upside. If it goes bad for you, you're screwed. So I say, don't take a test tomorrow. Take it easy. Around dinner time, you're done. I don't care if you're taking the test at 5 o'clock at night. At dinner time, you're done. Okay? Don't do anything. Again, the night before is always kind of go out to dinner. Don't go, pounding, going fireballs, but just literally go out to dinner maybe, talk to people who aren't involved in it, who don't care about the test, don't want to hear it. You want to do stuff that just relax you. If you have SDC or Notman, they have these little sheets that you can go through maybe the day before. Make sure you go over it like hot sheets or key topic stuff or crunch time facts. Again, I have crash course playlists, a whole playlist on almost every test you can take. Now, let's say you're taking it more than 2 days out. So what you want to do is within the up to, but not including the last, I don't even know if that's right. The last 8 to 10 days is testing, okay? Before that, you're reading and quizzing and testing, all that. A lot of focus on reading, mostly focus on reading, watching videos, adding knowledge. But in the last 8 days, not including the day before, so whatever that is, so 10 days before, you're going to take tests every day. One test, not two. If it's a 63 of the SIE, maybe you can take two. But again, I don't think it works that well. Oh, I feel the heat on my back. I really just want to turn around and take a dive. The problem is when I go in there, there's a manatee warning. The boats have to go around me. I have to wear a flag saying manatee, don't hit me, stuff like that. Now, up to but not including the day before the test, you are to take one final a day. Now, remember something. When you do a final, review the whole thing, not just the wrong answers. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of do a triage. There's really 3 or 4 choices. You look them over. If you got it right for the right reason, you're good. Move on. Make sure you read the answer why, okay? 2, if you got it right for the wrong reason, mark that down. You have to review it because if you got it right because you guessed, that's just as bad as a wrong. Almost more dangerous, right? Because you think you got it. 2, if you got it wrong because you misread it, which happens with the Kaplan, Past Perfect, SDC, even Achievable, all of them, you can misread it. If you get it wrong because you misread it, but you knew the concept, don't worry about it. The last one is you got it wrong because you didn't know your shit. That you have to review. So really, you're going to have 4 choices, mark them all, and then if you got it right for the right reason or wrong because you misread it, but you understand the concept, don't worry about it. The ones you have to review are the ones you got right for the right reason, and then the ones you got for the wrong reason. The ones you got for the wrong reason. See, when I talk too fast, my brain is here, my mouth is here, and they're not in conjunction. And then ones you got right for the wrong reason, like guessing, and then you got to be honest with yourself. Don't be like, oh, I think I know it. Or the ones you got wrong for the right reason. I guess the right reason to be wrong, you don't know it. If you're starting to memorize questions, buy another QBank. STCS 4 supplemental exams. If you want, buy Kaplan. But again, you don't want to add a new QBank in the last few days. You want to do it out so you can literally get used to the question because you don't want to switch it up the day before. Again, you need to go in there like a badass. You need to go into the test like I'm going to fucking own this shit and you're going to run it, okay? You got to go in there confident. You got to understand that if you go in there confident, if you go into this test as a confident badass, not cocky, confident, I know my shit, then when you see a hard question, you're going to go, oh, I can do this, okay? And you can work through it or even mark for review, shit like that. If you go in there where you're not sure and you're like, oh, I'm afraid, then every hard question is going to look to you like, see, I knew I should have waited. And that's a bad thing because you won't try it. I've seen that so many times where if you give someone positive confirmation of good work, they're willing to work a little bit harder on the question. If you're like, oh, I'm not ready, they go, oh, I knew I wasn't ready. They give up. We don't want give up. We want you to attack it like you know your shit, okay? And that's literally it. You maybe want to watch some of my exam walkthrough videos, join my live, but not the night before. I don't want to see you the night before. I want to see you after you pass so we can play a song for you and blow it out your ass, okay? Good. Okay, everyone, go beat this thing. You got this. I believe in you. I 100% believe in you. And you need to say every morning, get up in the morning, brush your teeth with your offhand, even if you want to brush your teeth with your foot, and keep saying, I'm going to pass this. I'm going to pass this. Say it like 10 times with confidence. Not I need to pass it. Not I gotta pass it. I'm going to pass it. That's your goal. Go beat this thing. We got it, baby.
Good morning, Vietnam. Let's go, baby. Hope everyone's doing well. There we go. Welcome to Tuesday night. Just a regular Tuesday night. We're doing a little live Q&A. I'm hoping not to. You don't need to hear all that shit. Okay. Happy Tuesday. Again, my two favorite nights of the week are Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think I'm gonna put a hard stop at 9:00 tonight because I have to get up super early and drive down. I have a class I'm teaching about 2 hours away. So you guys suffer. I think we're doing well. Let's go over a couple of things. Free resources. Check out the Facebook group on the bottom. Where is it? It's not there yet. Boom. FINRA and NASA Exam Test Prep Network. Super supportive group. It's free. You just got to apply to get in. Answer like 32 questions. No, answer 3 questions. To make sure you're not a bot or somebody trying to steal shit, and then you're in. Make sure you answer. If you just apply and you don't put questions, you get rejected and you'll have to try again. Okay, back to this. So if you guys need tutoring, obviously I'm here to help. I do tutoring all day long. If I'm too expensive, you can either go to my website, check out the other 4 tutors I have, or reach out to Jeff at Cap Advantage Tutoring, and he will direct you to the right tutor and get you on the right plan. He also, for a small fee, does a custom study plan. A lot of people love this thing. It's been pretty popular. We'll sit with you for 30, 45 minutes, whatever it is, and just come up with a study plan for you. And then if you need a tutor, he'll help you figure out which is the best tutor for you. If it's even a tutor, whether you should do the memberships or not. On that note, real quick, we have memberships, right? So we have a membership. It's like the prices are going up. I'm warning everyone they're going up in August. But right now, it's my Ken's amazing options are $19. If you want to do the class, it's $25. And then if you want to do options of class and the videos, it's $50 a month, a fucking month. That works out to be $8 a class. And that's even not saying that the options videos are worth anything. Also, you get to see all the old classes. It's pretty cool. But they are going up in August. So get in now while they're cheap. And they are tariff free. We did get an exemption from tariffs. Okay, so now. Okay, onward. That is awesome. Alakuni, that's awesome. Get the SIE done. That's a big one to get done. Now remember, I'm starting to have some 79 videos, and I just got in. First of all, get Notman. If you're going to do the 79, make sure you get Notman. And I think I might even have a discount code somewhere for them. Somewhere. And that doesn't help you at all. I have a 79 playlist. I have a 79 It's like somewhere in a vault. That doesn't help you. I have a 79 playlist, and I have a brand new tutor for the 79. And Mason, I kept thinking Shane. I'm like, his name's not Shane. I just emailed Shane. Mason, he's young, he's good. I have one or two students with him, and they keep repeating because they love him. Okay, now we're gonna try something new. We got to get back to this one to put my sexy podcast voice in.
It took on a whole new level.
Oh, is it on now?
Yeah.
So can you hear it from here?
Yeah, it's a little further away.
But it's better like this, right? So as you just talk like this, I'll be like Howard Stern. Okay, so now
it's kind of like smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz. It's the stylings of Ken and Jeff. Ken and Jeff on Tuesdays We got
We're
you
taking
covered.
requests.
We're taking requests for Series 7 questions. Pop them in the chat, and we will try to get to them at some point. Okay. Without yelling too much. Okay. I got the mic. I got this, baby. Okay. So now,
Oh, look at that. The raising of the mic and the whole
oh,
thing.
that's it. Drop the mic. No, I'm not doing that. I paid too much for that. Okay. So now, okay. I think we're good.
Can I tell something very funny, very quick?
What?
I was at a very large conference where they asked somebody to come up on stage, and he said his thing, and he was like, afterwards, he was feeling like really good up there, and he got to the end, and he ended his thing, and he went like this, dropped the mic.
Oh no!
And the venue went running on the stage, and they said they went berserk. They're like, "Excuse me, sir, that mic is not free, and it's like $500 a microphone. Please don't do that again."
Oh my God!
Yeah, the audience was like laughing because we all knew who he was, and
it worked, right?
Oh, it was hilarious.
Worth every penny. Right there, go. How much you need? Right. Sure. Right. A mic drop moment. Exactly. Okay. So hold on. We got a little celebration for Cooney, right? But again, if you need help, go check out I Got Mason, who's a great tutor. Let's see what we're gonna go with.
Wake up! Wake up! Grab rice and put a little makeup. I just have to fade away the shake up. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table?
That's a wake-up call for the first one. I love it. That's awesome. Okay. Now, Noor, this is an option question that I kind of refuse to do all the time, but I can't do it on here. I will. If Noor, you're in on the membership, that's something we probably should do on Friday night. But I'm going to tell you the answer is 7,050. Just by looking at it. And I've seen the question so much. This is what, if you're looking at here, somebody bought 300 chairs at 15, wrote a 20 call at 1, and wrote a 10 put, wrote 3 10 puts at 50 cents. Now, sometimes you just got to work through the shit. So they're saying, what's your max loss? So since your own stock, you're bullish. If it goes down to 0, you lose money. So let's all write this down. If you bought 3, I just said I'm not going to do it, and I'm doing it. So if I buy 300 shares at 15, that's $4,500 I spent. So boom, that shit's gone. Because I'm bullish, max loss, it means it goes to 0. So I lose $4,500 on the stock. That works. Now, the call expires worthless, so just leave that out for a second. We'll leave that alone. The call expires worthless, and then the put, the put, you go to 0, it means you have to buy the stock at 10, which means you're going to lose 1,000. You're going to lose $7,000 right there. Okay, so think about that. You lost $4,500 on the stock because it went to 0. Now the put, remember, you have to buy the stock at 10 because it's an exercise. It went down. So you have to buy the stock at 10. It's worth nothing. You lose $1,000 per option. So that's $3,000. So now you lose $4,500 and you lost $3,000. Again, I'll do this on Friday in the class anyway.
So really, this whole to put it simply, Miss Green,
yep,
keeps giving herself more and more exposure.
Yep,
she's doing.
Yeah, yes.
And Noor, just so you realize what Ken's explaining is that this is really just 3 simple options questions in one. Just take it step by step to figure out your max loss.
Yes.
Am I correct with that, Ken?
Yes, 100%. Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, so I lost $4,500 on the stock. I lost $3,000 on the option, the put. So that's $7,500 loss. But then we can't forget that I took in 150 times 3 premium, $450. So I lost $7,500. I made $450 in option premium. So $7,050 is my loss. We got this. Okay. We're going to nail this. It's not so bad. Okay. J. Let's go on the 66, baby. Not a ton of overlap. There's some overlap. Not a ton, but there is. Okay. The overlap, there's about 20-25% overlap. So I always say, everyone goes, is the 66 harder or easier? It's just, yes, it's different. It just, think of the 7, you can almost brute force it. The 66 is like a soft massage. It's like nuanced. Like you have to understand the stuff a little bit better. Like you have to have a good idea about the bond, like understanding them a little bit better. So if you look at the bond stuff, it's not just, oh, what's yield to maturity? What's this? It's like, okay, these 4 terms, which one best describes maturity? Or if you see like, oh, they're calling a bond back, which one of these statements are true? That's the overlap stuff. The other stuff is like regs. Half the damn test is regs. Get used to it. That's why it's just a different test. And there are a lot of people who struggle with the 7 but kill the 66. And there's a lot of people who kill the 7 and struggle with the 66. So it's just a different thing. It's a different mindset. And NASA's a bunch of assholes and they try to kick you around. Okay. Can I explain Mr. Desby again? Okay. Everyone's asking the math stuff. Okay. I need my vibe board. I need to move into that room and get that vibe board I can draw on. So Mr. Desby, I have videos on that, so it shouldn't be that hard. Mr. Desby is margin, okay? So I use it as a way to remember. MRDESB. M, Mr. DESB. Oh, you know what? What the fuck? I can just do this. I can open up my Zoom. I might get disconnected, but I'll try not to. Here we go. See if it works. Share screen. Let's see how it shows up. So I'll try to, if I draw right in the middle, I think I'm okay. Jeff, you'll let me know if it goes bad?
Yep.
Okay. So this is magic. Is that dead center?
It's still
Oh, that's right on the edge. I'm right in the edge. That's perfect. Okay. So now M is market value. R is rate T. D is debit balance. E is the equity. S is SMA. And B is buying power. So let's do this. Let's say I have a market value of 80 grand. How much do I have to deposit? Why, yes, 40K. I have to deposit 40K. Now, that also means since I deposited half, I'm borrowing half. I'm not going into the whole thing by margin because if you're doing the Mr. Desby, you got to understand the Reg T part. Okay. Now, oh, you see how the 40 doesn't show up until I hit enter. Boom. Now, if I do market value, now to get equity, it's always what it's worth minus what I owe. Market minus debit. So M minus D. That's going to be 40 grand. So everything's the same. That's awesome. Now, SMA is excess equity. It's the amount of equity I have over the Reg T. Well, my equity is 40. My Reg T is 40. So I have 0 SMA and 0 buying power. Pretty straightforward. So I'm going to put a Zippo there and a Zippo there. Now, that's easy so far. Now, let's go to the next one. Let's say the market value rises to, I'll say 95. Now I'll make it easy, 90K. So now I'm at 90K. Now, remember, my debit balance doesn't change. That's still 40K. Now, equity is always market minus debit. 90 minus 40 is 50. My equity is 50K. That's easy. I love that. Now, remember, they would always like you to have, they always want you to have 50% of the market value on. So our equity is 50. They would like you to have 50% of the market value at all times. That's Reg T. That changes. So the 90, what's half at 90? 90, that's why I didn't do 95. It's 45K. That's easy. So I have 50 grand in equity and I have 45K Reg T. So how much equity do I have? How much equity do I have? I have 5,000. I have 50 grand in equity. Reg T is 45. How much extra equity do I have? Why, yes, that's 5 grand. So my SMA is equity minus Reg T. That's 5 grand. That's how much I can borrow from the account. And then my buying power is 2 times SMA because I can use the cash of the SMA to buy stock, 10K. That's all it is. It's not. I'm not going to go deeper than that because I have a whole video on that. Hope that helps a little bit. Rachel, that's Mr. Desby. So easy. I made a mistake of eating dinner right before we ate. So before we went on. So here we go. And so I'm going to be a little more low key. Can I touch on taxes? Haley, bond taxes. Okay. So this is super easy. Because you're worrying about accretion and amortization and stuff. It's got to be. So let's bond the interest. If it's a corporate bond, it's fully taxable, right? So if it's a corporate bond, it's fully taxable. Let me shut this thing down. Ooh, I almost hit the wrong end stream. I almost ended our thing. So now, if you buy a corporate bond, it's fully taxable at ordinary income. If you buy a treasury bond, it's taxable on the federal level, not state. If you buy a muni bond, it's taxed on the federal and the state level, but not the federal, and maybe not even state if it's in your own state. Now, the only way you're going to get tax stuff is this. If you buy an OID, what's an OID? It is a zero coupon bond. So if you buy a zero coupon bond and OID, you must accrete. So let's everyone do this. So if I buy a 10-year bond for $800, OID, that means it's trading at 800. I bought it at 800. That means it has $200. It's trading at $200 below par. So that means it's $200, but we have 10 years to maturity. I'm going to take the $200 and divide it by 10 years. So that means I'm going to accrete by $20 a year. Because think about it. You buy a bond for 800. It's a zero coupon. It doesn't mature for 10 years. The IRS does not want to wait 10 years to tax your ass. So they're going to tax you a little bit each year. And this is what they do. They make you accrete. You accrete $200 over 10 years. That's $20 a year. So every year you increase your cost basis by $20 each and every year. Now, so that means after 2 years, you're at 840. After 3 years, you're at 860. After 4 years, you're at 880. Moves up, moves toward par. Remember that. So now the question, and now if that's a corporate or a treasury, you're taxed on that $20 at ordinary income every year. But if it's a muni at interest, that's not taxable. So even though you're upping your cost basis, you're not getting taxed on it because it's a muni. But let's say after 3 years, you sell the bond. Well, you've increased by $20 a year for 3 years. So your new cost basis is $860. And then you sell the bond, say at $880, you sold it for a $20 capital gain. So your cost basis went to $860 because you accrete. And then you sell it for more than that, it's a gain. If you sell it for under $860, it's a loss. That's the discount side. Now remember, only OIDs have to accrete. So if you buy a bond in the secondary market and it went down because the interest rates went up, I don't care. I don't have to accrete, not to the end. Now, if I buy a bond at a premium, I'm going to do the same thing but work my way down. A $1,200. I'm not going to do the math again. A $1,200 bond. It's 10 years to maturity. 200 divided by 10 is $20. You're going to drop the price by $20 each year. That's called amortization. But you do need to know that only muni premiums have to amortize. So of all the bonds, corporates and treasuries don't have to amortize. Muni premiums do. I don't know why, but they do. Other than that, my tax video covers everything else. And anything else shouldn't be that hard. Okay. Haley. Okay. What's up? Okay. I'll be testing you Friday, baby. That is awesome. Boom. No, listen. You're good. You got this, baby. We are good. We got you, baby. I got to do it the other way. We got this. Oxytocin, baby. You're going to nail this thing. You are absolutely going to go nail 80 on the finals. You're in good shape. Tomorrow, do a test. Thursday, don't do a test. Thursday, go over my crash course. Go over anything you have, last minute stuff. Make sure you read customer accounts, get some sleep. You're going to boom. Okay, good stuff. Guadalupe. Cassandra, I just did it, so hope that helped. Okay. Now, Guadalupe, is this a 7 question or a 65-66 question? I'll talk about it, but if it's for 65-66, you are on the wrong fucking night. Now, efficient market means that the price is where it's supposed to be. Like when we worked at a prop trading firm, prop traders do not believe in an efficient market because they don't believe because if you believe in an efficient market, you can't beat the market. So day traders and active traders believe that they can find an inefficiency and exploit it. So like if the stock should be trading at 40 and it's trading at 38, that's an inefficiency. If they should be trading at 30 and it's trading at, 55, it's an inefficiency. Okay. So inefficiencies are like not perfection. So an efficient market means that it's trading where it should be. And now there's 3 theories for that. One is weak form. Weak form believes that all the historical prices are built in and the stock is going to trade where it trades and you can't really predict it. But it does believe fundamental analysis might find an inefficiency. Semi-strong believes that all news that is public is built into the market, but anything that's inside information is not. So any new information that comes out will be reflected in the price fairly quickly, because then once it's out, it's public and the price will reflect it. So you might, if you have access to inside information or some way to scrape information before other people see it, you can beat the market. Other than that, you can't, because efficient means you can't beat the market. Now, strong form believes that people trade on inside information or private information, so they believe the price reflects all information, both public and private. That's the only way to remember it. So weak is kind of random. Semi-strong believes public information is built in, and strong believes that both public and private information is built into the price. There we go. Okay. Okay. Can we touch on REITs and DPPs? Yes. Next question. Okay. Now, REITs are more tested than DPPs. Okay. REITs are like, think of them as a closed-end fund that holds real estate. So it's a packaged product, basically. Look at them. I'm trying to try this new shit now. Body armor. Okay. Body armor. No sugar, but it's not working. So say I have this and I fill it with real estate. Now the value of the real estate goes up and down. The shell does. It's not an investment company, but it acts like one. So it's like a closed-end fund, but it's not, and it holds real estate. And there's a manager buying and selling the property, or even just renting it out, or doing mortgages, anything to do with real estate. But you're buying into the product, not the specific real estate. So here's my explanation. So Jeff, you'll know this. Back in 2020, where was everyone moving to?
Florida?
Yes, the free state of Florida. No mask, no quarantine, and they still beat everyone else. Now, and everyone's old down there. Somehow they didn't die more than other people. But everyone started buying. Goldman bought down there. They have all this shit. And you saw it. But I'm not rich enough to buy property and make money on it. So I bought a bunch of REITs that primarily focus on South Florida. So instead of you buying one property and hoping I do a good job, I buy a REIT, and they buy the property down there and they manage it and they make sure it's okay. That's what a REIT does. Hopefully they trade on an exchange, so they're very liquid. They have to pay out 90% of their income. If they do, it's called regulator, subchapter M or something like that. And then they only pay tax on what they don't kick out. So a lot of them kick out between 90 and 99% of their income. Now, remember something, it's net income. So they pay their expenses and salaries, whatever's left over, they kick out. And as long as it's more than 90%, they don't pay taxes on what they don't put out. Now, they're very liquid and they only pass through the gains. DPPs are limited partnerships. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. They're very illiquid. They have a limited partner and they have a general partner. The limited partner just puts in money, hopes you do a good job. General partner runs it. Here's the big thing. They pass through both the gains and the losses. So that means anyone who invests gets a K1. K as in Ken, 1. Ken number 1. So when I say they pass through gains and losses, all the money gets passed through to the investors, and then any losses, they become write-offs. They get to reduce their taxes, like rent, salaries, depreciation, depletion. All those things will reduce your taxable income. So that's a good thing. Okay. But they're not liquid. Remember, they're not liquid, not liquid, not liquid, not liquid, not liquid. Okay. They don't even really trade. The only ones that trade are what they call MLPs, master limited partnerships, and they do trade. But again, are they liquid? No. Okay. Trevin. Okay. Yeah. Guess Trevin, you know what you should be focusing on. Regs. You need to be focusing on the regs. Get on the fucking regs. Read it. Watch my videos. I have 2 great videos on it. One called Can I Sell a Security? And the other one is the Quick and Easy. But get into it. Read. I have a bunch of videos. Like if you go to the 65, 66 playlist, the first like 15 videos are mostly about regs. Okay. For the test, SIE 80, 700. Go from there. Okay.
I get this question a lot.
Every time, right? They do in your study group, they always ask that, right?
Yeah, and my answer to this is it's different for everyone. Don't go like when you're studying, don't just put in 80 or 100 hours for the sake of putting it in 80 or 100 hours. Whatever you put in, make sure it's quality time. Make sure you're just not clocking. Nobody's judging you by, clocking in and clocking out. And the other thing is you might need more time because that's just the way you study.
Yeah, everyone studies their own way.
Use it as a very loose gauge of planning over the next 4 to 6 weeks of how much time you need to put in.
I like it. That's awesome. There you go. See, that's just a little snippet of what you'll get. The styling's objective.
And I compare when I speak to people, I compare me to you at studying. You absorb things much quicker than I do. I'm a much slower studier.
Okay.
You're a good test taker. I am not.
And I'm a lousy businessman.
And you're so
as I leave money on the table all the time. Okay.
So just don't go by what other people say. Go by what feels natural for you.
I agree. You know what's weird? I look very yellow.
You are very yellow tonight.
I don't know why. I noticed this with the other thing. I don't know. I have. It could be. I don't know. Let's see. You're gonna have to deal with this, people. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it. No, that shouldn't be it. It's too bright. Oh, wait a second. No. Maybe it's my camera. Don't know. Oh well, I'll have to figure out this stuff later. I'm not going to make you guys suffer through the whole thing. I can do that one. That's horrible, right? Now watch. Oh, there you go. Okay. A little bit better, but still shit. Okay, now. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so go to Cameron. Look at Fidelity. Look at Schwab. Look at Morgan Stanley, Bank of America. Maybe get the jobs with the. If you don't have a role, go to Chase. Go to Bank of America. Go to the banks and get in there and work your way up. Get your foot in the door. It's much easier. It's much easier to get a job when you have a job. I tell that people go, I'm going to quit. Don't fucking quit. So, oh, by the way, I can't say the name, but one of the people we know together just took a new job. I can't say it yet because he accepted it, but he hasn't taken notice yet.
Oh, is that right?
Somebody who just got his 24, like maybe 4 months ago, and bust my chop about taking the 79. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. On July 31st. Yeah, baby, listen, Manny, get on it. You got to finish that damn book. Get it done. Yes, Cameron, yes. You can take it on your own. Yes. But wait a second. If you have the 65 already, you have the 63, right? Yeah, just take the 65 or 66. You can take either one of them. That's why you're in great shape. I think I'm less yellow now, aren't I?
You're a little less yellow now.
I'm more orange. I got color. Okay. You do not need a sponsor for the 65 or 66. Aaron, die. Okay. That's awesome. So, listen, that is fucking phenomenally fast. That is really, really, really fast.
But this is my point. That worked for Aaron.
Yeah.
It may not work for somebody else. So don't gauge it. Like, it's fantastic that Aaron got it done.
Yeah.
But Aaron might have been studying 10 hours a day, and 10 hours a day works for her.
And so, look, like I said, I'm a good test taker. I'm a really good test taker. So I don't take notes or anything, but it's the way I take them. When I go in there, I take the test in 45 minutes. I don't tell people to do that. Don't ever do that.
No.
But my job's not on the line. I don't give a shit.
No, it's
a mistake. It's not a race. And this is why I say, stop comparing yourself to people. I have a video that I may repost. Comparison is a thief of joy. I didn't say that. I'm just saying I love it. Okay. Hold on. Aaron.
I've been forgotten now, Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Sorry, but you had to get that one. I love that one. Okay. Good stuff. Stacy. Wait, you done with the 66? Is that a Stacy? That's not the same one, right? That is awesome. I love that. I am so happy for you. But since you're done, I hope you're done, you get the freedom song. Double one by mistake. That's awesome. Good for you. Get it done, baby. Okay. Taking the 6. You're taking the 7. Okay. Oh, Haley. Okay. You got to go over. Okay. You still have a couple days to get through this. Okay. So if you're getting low 60s on Kaplan, I have a guy who couldn't get over 62 and still pass. So it may not be a big deal. I would go over every question, go over the wrong ones, go over the right ones, find out. Okay. Hold on. But Nor, I asked it this time. By the way, the reason I skipped that question is because it's not on the exam. But back to this. Haley, back to you. If you go over the right ones and the wrong ones, and you feel like a lot of them are stupid mistakes, then you're fine. If you're getting 60s and that 40% is all shit you don't know, I'm going to say you could still pass, but I would say move it. I don't like saying that to anyone. I never like saying move it because you never know. I can't move it. But if you're getting 60s and all the shit all of them, every single one of that 40% is shit you don't know. Like you're like, I've never heard of that before. You can't take the test.
What are the I'd be curious to know for Haley what the analysis is after she takes the exam.
Yeah.
Like what
How do you do it? Haley, jump on, post in here, right, and tell us what you how you run through the test.
Very simply, if you're getting like 80s on customer accounts, but 30s in options, you're answering your own question right there.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Also, if you get a chance, also think about do my brutal exam if you haven't done it yet. It's really a good vibe for the test. I promise you. It will pay dividends. No pun intended, or actually intended. So do the brutal exam. I promise you. I have a video called Tayan Takes His Brutal Exam. I promise you it'll help you a lot.
And when you do the brutal exam, take your time.
Yes.
Don't do it like at 8:30 at night after a long day of work. Take it like on a Saturday at 9 or 10 a.m. and take the time to go through it because there's a lot of value in there.
Right. Okay. I agree. That's good. Great advice. Let's see what she says. Kyle, I agree. You basically the other side. Put your grandma on the other side of that and decide if you want to do it. I like it. But sometimes your grandma's a badass bowler and you got to adjust to that too. Okay. 4 damage. Thank you very much. So here's what he said. He did it last time for the 7. He's doing it now. Look, your scores are solid, my man or woman. I don't know. 4 damage. I'm assuming a guy because the picture looks like that. But I guess no, we're allowed to assume now. Oh, that shit's gone. Okay, so now, focus. Just go. The last I'm going to tell you, I tell everyone, before you take a NASA exam, 65 or 66, go through joint accounts, trust and estates. Just one last time. It's not that it's hard. You want that top of mind. Like with the FINRA exams, I say customer accounts. This estates, trust, and joint accounts. It's going to be easy points for you, and you're going to get this. You're going to come on Thursday night with Celebrate. Oh, Cassandra, I'm glad it helped. Okay. But I got you, baby, right? I know it's a 66, but I got you covered, man. I may be a dick, but I'm a nice dick. Okay. I'm a big dick. Okay, no, I'm Irish. That's not true. It's Christian Wirtz. We met last week. If you had focused on 3 chapters or main topics. Okay. I'll only say this. I'm only going to say this because I'm assuming you're done. If that's true and you're done with everything and you've studied everything, here's the 2 big ones. What the register up can and cannot do. That's like associated persons. That's prohibited activities. That's SRO rules. Okay. That's big. And investment risks. Okay. Are we okay with that? So those are the two: investment risks and what the register rep is and isn't allowed to do. So prohibited activities, associated rules, stuff like that. Who signs? What they like? Do you have to have, if you have an outside business activity or a private securities transaction? What do you do? Stuff like that. All that shit.
And let's caveat this with saying that's assuming that you're taking practice exams, passing them, you've read the book, and you're just looking to, do a refresher right before the exam, not a substitute for something else.
Right.
Because everything's going to be covered on the exam.
Got it. Okay, so I don't know what he's referring to here. You got to elaborate. Was this on the options thing? I don't think so, because it's not PE scaling, right?
Maybe it was on efficient markets.
Yeah. We're thinking simple, Zimmerman. It's test. Maybe. Let me know if that's what you're talking about. But the whole point is what the theory means. It's not what really happens. None of that's real fucking true.
Yeah.
What are good practice scores on Past Perfect? Anything above a 30? No. High 60s. High 60s. I mean, good pass scores, 80s. That's not a thing. Like, let me explain to you this. So when they used to give scores, I could still finagle my way into the test. And I would get 99s, 98s, not 100. I never got a fucking 100, right? But I was close. I never got over mid 80s on Past Perfect. Think about that. Was that top 15%? Those questions are so fucking hard and deep and unfair and cruel, and they're trying to switch them. But I always equate it to this one. It's like, and they're getting better. John Hennessy is doing a lot better job. He's taking out a lot of that stuff out of the bullshit, because the guy who wrote it before, Ed Floor, nice guy and smart, but he always wanted to prove how smart he was. So it's almost like when you took his book, I equate it to this. If you were going to learn CPR and they teach a fucking open heart surgery, that's the difference. And it's like, I don't need it for that. So they went too far. So if you're scoring low 70s, high 60s, and most of the stuff is that convoluted shit, you're fine. But you want to pass. I mean, when should you take it? Once you pass 3 exams in a row, that's when you should take it. I believe that. Okay. That's the thing. You don't know. It could be 15 or 20. It could be 10. It could be 15 or 20. But they're easy. Okay. What's a good way to remember top down, bottom up? Okay. So I think of the Queen song. No. Fat Bottom Girl. So now every time I hear bottom up, I think Queen. I don't know why. Okay. Mexican and Dos Equis. By the way, I'm not burping. I'm like coughing my head off. Okay. Now, am I wearing the Blue Owl thing? Am I wearing Blue Owl? No. I got them all up there. Okay. So now, the dividend came out today in Blue Owl. Got it. Well, my son-in-law no longer works for them, but I have a bunch of ads. Okay. Now, let me get back to this. Top down, bottom up. The way I think of it is, think of the economy on top. Think of the stocks on the bottom.
That's exactly what I thought.
You look at the economy first. Then you say, once you decide what the economy is doing, then you go, what sector? Then what industry? Then what stock? I know there's a lot of little steps, but I'm just saying, top down, you start at the top. You look at the economy, then you scale down and go, okay, what sector would be good? Then what industry in that sector? And then you go down to the stock and you decide what to do. That's top down. Now, bottom up is you start at the stock, and then you look at this industry, then the sector, the economy, decide what to do. I keep changing color. I don't know what's going on. Now, that's the only way to explain it. It's basically, that's about as deep as it is. Okay. I love when you get the dividends. I'm not a big fan of dividends because I think they're just like, it's literally taking money out of one pocket and putting in the other and say, I paid myself. I mean, I do that, but that's called embezzlement.
You're not a fan of dividends?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. Now, on preferreds maybe, but I don't believe they pay enough. No, the only thing is I had IEP for a while, and it paid a 15% dividend.
In a boring market, you wouldn't take a dividend?
There's no such thing as a boring market.
Or in a quiet stock?
That's why I love fucking Trump. There's no such thing as a quiet. Summers are not. Remember the summer doldrums we used to have?
No, they don't exist anymore.
They're gone.
You can miss all of your gains if you stay away.
Yeah.
You know,
You
you
go
know,
to
what
the
is it,
Hamptons
sell
for
in
1
May
week
and go
and
away.
back.
Yeah, that don't follow that now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That was like the long 80s and 90s.
Yeah, no more.
Nope. I mean, I remember when I first started in the stock exchange, the day after Thanksgiving, the bet was if he did more than 50 million shares in a day. 50 million. That's crazy. Okay. Not that way anymore. Okay. Here we go. I'm taking the 7. Hey, I'm only 15 minutes behind. That's great. Okay. I like Notman or not. I think their questions are unnecessarily hard. But understand, but if you're passing them, you're in good shape. Also, remember, whenever you switch vendors, your score has to drop. There's no way. It's impossible for you to, well, it could be, but it's impossible to go from Notman to Kaplan or Kaplan to STC or STC to Kaplan, Kaplan to Notman, and your first one doesn't drop. It's always a thing. So the fact that there's Michael. Okay. Now, if you drop to the 60s for the first one, that's a great base. And it's from the wording. And that's why I like Notman used to use Kaplan questions, but now they have a massive database of their own, which is great. So, I think that you're in good shape. If you're getting 70s, 80s, mid 80s on Notman, and you're not memorizing, you're fine. If you're memorizing, then you're screwed. But then just do the Kaplan stuff, and you're gonna see a drop, and then you're gonna see it start moving up quickly. It moves fairly quickly. You'll probably be in the 70s by Tuesday. No, I'm kidding. You'll be in the 70s in a day or two. He's taking the test on Monday, so you'll be fine. If you really want to test yourself, take my can you pass this brutal exam, and jump on Thursday and tell me how you did. Okay. Let's go, baby. Redragon. Yeah, I'm telling you, the banks will here's one thing I'm going to tell everyone. A lot of these places like Bank of America, Chase, well, Bank of America used to do it. If you come in with the SIE already, they give you a bonus. A lot of these firms, they will pay not a big bonus, like $1,000, but that's not nothing. I mean, that's $1,000. That's like, well, after taxes, that's like $8. But it's more than you had before. Okay. Depending if you're in California, it's like $3. If you live in New York and New Jersey, it's about $8. But if you live in like Tennessee or Florida or Texas, you're getting like $900 out of that. Okay. Yeah, you can tell where I want to move. Okay. If you're going to give me a life insurance, okay. So it depends. If you're going to get the 6, you can only do the 63, 65 route. If you're going to get the 7, do the 66. It's literally that easy. A lot of life insurance places like State Farm and all this shit, they only sponsor for the 6. So you get the 6, you get the 63, and then the 65, and then you're done. If they'll sponsor you for the 7, then go the 66 route. And this is what I tell everyone. Do the 7, do the 66, and if you fail, do the 63, 65. You don't have to wait 30 days. Okay. Yeah, you're a dick. I don't know why I give you air. Okay, now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, you are good. You're going to nail the test now. Awesome. Look, if you're in the 80s, and if you're in the 80s and you're nailing that on past perfect, go. Okay. Boom. Look, you're going to be fine. You're going to rock this thing. I know you are. I full on believe that you got this, baby. Okay. It's funny. I don't need to do this part. I just could do this and it happens. Okay. I had my drone out yesterday. I'm going to try doing videos through my drone. My wife's like, I'm going to throw that fucking thing out. I got a little tiny mini drone and it takes video. It's so awesome. And you can do the videos on your phone. So you won't hear the whizzing. I can't wait. But it's been raining so fucking much. I can't do it.
Do it in the house.
Yeah, I could. That's no fun. I did fly it in the house a little. It's kind of cool. Everything. I don't have a remote. I have my phone as a remote. But you can set it. I can set it to follow me, and I can just go walk down the road and have it follow me. My dogs hate it, which is great. Okay. Video recommendations. Yeah, I mean, I think I have a client. I have think about trust in states, but Nah, just read it. It's better off. It's better to read it because you pick up stuff. Even my videos, like I cover the high level stuff. I don't go deep into the. I don't do deep dives. Okay. Kyle's funny. Okay. By the way, have you ever heard of the word luck? Jeff, you've heard of luck of the Irish, right?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what that means?
Irish are lucky.
No, the opposite.
They're not.
It's that we're really unfucking lucky. People have originally started as luck, potato famine, fucking taking over Britain. It's fucking bad luck. But they tried to make it sound good. Okay. Now, this is not fucking true. That would be fraud. You don't get a harder test the second time. Here's what happens. It feels harder because you know more. I know that sounds stupid, but look, if you mail it in, so you take the test the first time, right? So you take the test the first time and you're studying for it and you're kind of like, oh, I'm going to go for it. But I got the SIE done easy, so I'm going to be a cocky dickhead and just study for it a little bit. And then you fail. And then it also means out of the 125 questions, you can probably only really answer like 90 of them because the other 35 are like, what the fuck are they asking? So then you study harder, you reread the book because you listen to me, you take questions, you're ready. Now you go into that test. You now can answer all 125 or close to it. So now it's a longer, harder test. So let me put it this way. Through high school, I wasn't stressed at all. Literally very impressed. I was a straight D student. Literally, I think I graduated with a 1.995 grade point average. I got like a 1,500 on my SATs. That's the only reason I got into college, but I didn't do anything. But the tests were so easy for me because I didn't fucking study.
I was the complete opposite.
Yeah? You were the grinder.
On the SATs, straight A's on the grades.
You're a grinder. Grinders do better than people without grit.
That's my point with studying for this exam. Preparing for this exam. Everybody is different. And the other thing is, with regards to this question, 99% of the rumors that you hear about the tests are false.
Yeah.
They're all false.
Yep.
Every single one of them.
Yep.
If you study and you take the practice exams and you understand the explanations, you'll pass the exam. That's it.
And you may fail the first time, but you'll get it the second time.
Yes. And
sometimes the wording gets people. So I give them that, right? Sometimes but if you study hard and do it the right way, you're going to be fine.
Absolutely.
I agree. Okay. But again, the point is it feels harder. Like if I studied for my exams, high school would have been a lot harder for me. And I was really trying not to make it hard for me. Okay. I've almost made it. I'm 57. I've been skating through fucking life. I got maybe another 10 or 15 years left, and then I win. Okay. Sister Christian, we're good. Okay. You're going to be fine. I'm bringing all the old shit up, right? It's like, what the fuck? Okay. Everyone's like, what is he talking about? Everyone over the age of 40 is like, oh, that's not funny, but whatever. Listen, you're fine. Just watch videos. Go over, if you're getting 70 plus, you're fine. Just take a test every day. Boom. Okay. Just take a test every day. Okay. Mrs. K, I wish you found my channel sooner too, because then you could have come on here going, oh, I passed this bitch. So what are we gonna do? You failed it a couple weeks ago. That's fine. Everyone feels like a lot of people walk into this test pretty cocky because what happens is you listen to people like me who say it's easy, but I'm saying it's easy, but it's not easy. But you have people who pass it on the first time, or a lot of people, if they started before 2018, they got waved into it. Okay. So it's not an easy test, but if you've been in the business for 30 years, you can. Okay. So trust it. I want you to focus on reading the book first. I know that you've been a couple weeks and you may not think you have time, but please just reread the book. Watch my videos, reread the book. Join a study group. Go to the Facebook group that I put in here earlier. Go in there. Join us. They have study groups starting all the time. There's literally 8,000 people in this group.
With reading the book.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask you, really quick. how long should it take for somebody to read the book?
That's a hard question, right? But
I say 10 to 14 days.
yeah, I that's fair. A week to 2 weeks. It depends. If you can study all day, a fucking week, right? If you can study all day long, it's a week. The SIE, all of that. Let's be fair. If it's past perfect, no. If it's Kaplan, no. But if it's STC, yes. Achievable, maybe. But again, it's the SIE versus the 7, the longer. So if you have STC, you can get that done in a week. Again, if you're studying all day. But if you're not, figure 10 to 2 weeks and give yourself that time. But here's the thing. You got to not take notes. Don't waste your time with notes because you don't know what's on the exam.
That's what I want. That's the point I want you to get to. Whether you take 10 days, 14 days, 15, 18 days, whatever it is, it is. But don't stop. Don't get hung up on any one chapter. Yeah. Keep going. Even if you don't get complete comprehension,
it'll come back.
Keep going. It will fall into place.
Well, that's why I tell everyone, don't take quizzes during the middle. Because if you take quizzes, you'll go fail. I'm not moving on to the next chapter to let pass. Okay, you might be sitting there for a fucking while. So just keep moving. Movement begets movement. Movement makes it feel better, especially with Past Perfect, because their bond chapter is goddamn monstrous. Like, I know people that would spend a week on the bond chapter alone. So it's like, okay, so I tell them, okay, read the first section of bonds and then go read customer accounts. Then read the second section of bonds and don't go read regs. Just keep moving along. Like, you got to keep moving or you're going to feel fucking pissed off and frustrated.
And there's some chapters that are very short where you can get 2 or 3 done in a day. And then there's some chapters that might take 2 to 3 days to finish.
Yeah, 100%. So just read and don't stress. Read it, get the words jumbling around in your head, then do chapter quizzes to see what made it to the long-term memory. Anything under 70, either reread or watch a video on, and then move on. Yeah. It's moving. Remember, we don't need 100. That's the big thing. You don't need 100 on this test. Okay. Oh, so Haley answered. That's good. Okay, a lot of stupid answers. Okay. Okay, UIT. Okay, REITs are liquid and they trade and they're like a management. They're like a closed-end fund, but they're not. That holds real estate. A UIT is a fixed. Write this down. I always want to say UTI. A UIT is a fixed portfolio of usually bonds. They do not trade them. They're not even like managed. So if they fill up this thing with a bunch of securities, they seal the top and they never touch it. So it's usually bonds. Do bonds last forever? No. So this thing eventually self-liquidates. So when I think of the person managing this, I think there's some schmoke sitting there with his feet up, a beer and a cigar, just making sure it doesn't blow up. That's all they're doing. They're not managing it. Like REITs, closed-end funds, open-end funds, even ETF, there's an actual manager making sure it all works. This guy's literally just snapping until it's over. So a UIT is not managed, it's supervised, okay? And eventually liquidates because it does, like say one of the bonds in an ETF disappears. They will buy a new one. In a UIT, they won't. So if you have a bunch of bonds in here and one gets called, this UIT is now smaller because they don't replace the bonds. So keep that in mind. Okay. Okay. Well, if you're the margin, I don't care about. Are you doing my options? That's the question. If you're not doing them, join the membership. That $20 will save you. If you're having trouble with the options, if you do the $20 and you buy into it, don't go half T-chart, half mine. If you buy into it, by the end of the first day, by tomorrow, you'll wish the entire test was options. And again, it's $20. I'm not saying it's nothing, but it's $20. You join the membership. Don't do it on your iPhone. Do it on a laptop or desktop so you don't pay the extra Apple surcharge. Okay. A lot of the time I go back and realize exactly I was wrong. I just haven't been able to get my scores up during the test. Okay. Here's the thing. Try my brutal one tomorrow morning. Here's the thing. Can you move the exam? If not, if you can't, then we got to go for it. But if you can't, watch my options video. I promise. Let the margin go. Don't worry about margin. And remember, and do my brutal exam, even though it's not easy, it's not really brutal. It's just hard. It's very indicative, the vibe of the exam. Remember, the vendors go out of their way to make them difficult. So a lot of times you're going to get two answers that seem so similar, and they go, oh, well, you forgot that on every other Tuesday in May, this happens. Like they do shit like that, okay? The test doesn't do that. The test is not easy, but they're not nearly as tricky. Yes, once in a while they'll say, oh, there's a common stock split, and you own preferred. You don't do anything. That's as tricky as they get. Or they say, oh, interest rates are going down. Which ETF will go down the most as opposed to up? Things like that. But if you read it, the problem with Kaplan and SDC and Achievable and Notman, a lot of times they leave information out of the question to trick you. The test doesn't. They are challenging you, but they're giving you everything you need to know. So that's why I feel better about the exam. If you feel that it's a lot of little tricky shit, you're probably fine. But if you're really struggling with options and that's pulling, also if you said options is pulling your score down and you're scoring there, you fix the options, you're gold, you're on top. And don't sweat margin, it's super easy. Find my video, Mr. Desby and Wreck Me or Russian Children Must Eat Snow. Those videos, you'll be fine. Okay. Ericana. Okay. It could be a knowledge deficit. We have tutors. If you look, so I would say you took a couple of days off, reread the book. And I have a couple tutors that are cheap. Like I have Michael Rose on here. He's like, is he still, what is he now?
65.
He's 65 an hour. Way cheaper than me. If you're taking the SIE, don't fucking pay me. You don't need to pay me $200 an hour to do this. I mean, you can. I'm happy to take your fucking money, right? But if you maybe just meeting with him for a day or two, but after, don't do it this week. Read the book. Just go back and read the book. Here's the big thing. It might be a knowledge deficit, right? But you want to make sure that here's the biggest thing when people miss. They just focus on the weakness. They ignore the shit they were good at. And then what happens is they flip-flop. The shit they were bad on goes up and the shit they were good on goes down. They go, how did I fail again? Like they get the exact same score, but everything's opposite. You got to focus on everything. So your job is to get your entire score up by everything up by 10%. You do that and you're fine. Let's not say 10. Let's say 15%. Just reread the book. Go over my videos. Maybe join a study group, join in there. And then if you want, go hire Mike LaRosa and he'll help you out. He's great with the SIE.
Can I ask my one question of the night to the group with everybody puts the response in the chat? I know we're coming to the end, but I'm curious and we have a lot of people on now. Just put yes or no in the chat if you review the explanation to all the right answers that you get when taking a practice exam.
Say that again.
So if when you take the practice exam, do you read the explanations to the answers you get correct? And just put yes or no.
Okay. I'm not going to say a word about that, but I literally did a video on that the other day. About a month ago, about how frustrating that is. Okay.
Because I just don't think people put enough value in the explanations to all the practice questions.
Okay. Cheeseburger. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It's on my YouTube channel. The Great and Wonderful Capital Advantage Tutoring. Okay. Hold on. Where am I?
Okay, wait till you see the responses coming in.
Okay. I love to see it. Where am I? Here we go.
Excellent, Lucia.
Okay, so cheeseburger. Here. That's the video. I just go through. Okay. That's cheeseburger. That's the one. Okay. Okay, Jonathan, what test are you taking? Okay. Oh, look. This is a response to you. This is doing the drone in the house.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Jesse, I don't think I have that fucking problem. I'm good. You know how much I save on shampoo? Okay.
Haley, great answer there too.
Okay,
Feel
here we
free
go.
as we get to them.
Okay, so newbie Mike. Okay, here we go. Net versus gross. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. What happens is they do the debt revenue. They figure out our debt coverage based on either gross revenue or net revenue. Again, not heavy, but it could be there. Gross revenue means they use the money they get in from, like, literally from the fucking tolls. Okay, so literally, like, as the money comes in, no expenses, nothing coming out of it. That's the money they use. That's gross. That's gross. Okay, so now that's like your paycheck, newbie. When you say, "Oh, I'm making 50 grand a year," that should be what, 4 grand a month. That's your gross. Okay, I think it's about that, right? So say it's 4. Oh, say easier one. Say you make 60 grand a year. That's 5 grand a month. That's your gross. Do you walk away with 5 grand? No, you walk away with like 2,800. Okay, now the net is after they pay the expenses. Okay, so gross pledge is they use the number, top line number, without any expenses coming out. Net is after they take the expenses. So say gross is 5 million, the expenses are 300 grand, the net is 4.7 million. That's what it is. Okay, so net is after. Now what's interesting is when you do the debt coverage ratio, which is how much debt revenue we have versus the debt we have to pay, whether we use gross or net changes the ratio. If we use gross, it's going to be a higher ratio than net. Because remember, net is after operations and maintenance. Just like if you have, I make a $5,000 a month paycheck, I pay 3 grand, I pay $500 in expenses, my net is 4,500. That's the difference. Hope that helps a little bit. Okay. Depending. So if you see Jonathan answer, let me know. Only pass one test. You're taking it tomorrow? Fucking just
Jonathan
be a baller.
wrote 7. Is that right? Is that what you're looking for?
He said he's taking the 7?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as you pass an exam, go in there and be a badass. Read customer accounts. Go over my crash course stuff if you have time. If not, at least find my quick and dirty and my guerrilla style. No, find my quick and dirty and watch the suitability ones and the taxes and go beat this thing. I'd rather you go to bed early tonight and wake up early to study instead of staying up late. But read customer accounts, maybe find my quick and dirty, find my suitability videos, and if you can find the taxes in there, that's awesome. And go beat this thing. Be confident. Okay. At least you didn't say I only took one test. You passed one test. That means you know enough to pass. Be fucking confident. Please be confident. Okay. 8 hours, newbie baby. Okay. That's fine. That's a long fucking day. Okay. Now, tomorrow, no testing, right? No testing. Okay, here we go. So this is the one who just found me. Okay. No, Kaplan's fine. Okay. Yes. None of the exams look like the test. I promise you that. Now, you can do, there's a practice one on the website, on FINRA website. I also have, if you're taking the SIE and you're going to, and you want to see a video walkthrough test that I do, that looks like the exam, go to my exam walkthrough playlist and do the first video. I think it's called 75 questions. It's the same vibe as the test. It'll give you an idea. But Miss K, you're fine with Kaplan. If you want to switch to SDC or Achievable, totally fine. That's another thing. If you guys are here and you need tutoring and I'm not the guy, go check out Series7examtutor.com. That's Michael Weiss. He's really good. And if you need a vendor and you're not sure, go check out Achievable. I have links in all my videos except for the lives. I think there's a discount code in there and everything. It's super duper wonderful. They're really good. Especially for the SIE, they teach the shit better than anyone else. But I'll say this again. No vendor's questions look like the test. STC is closest, but none of them look like it. Okay. I'm falling behind again. Oh my God, yes. Yes, Jazzy, baby. If you're studying all day, get through that 63 book once or twice, and then this is the only exam. 63 is always about take the tests as much as you can. The 63 is a test-taking one, where you just take 2 a day and just go through every single question. Okay. Okay. It's hard to explain. Hold on. It's just that it's more straightforward. It's not that, trust me, they're not easier. They're just more straightforward. They are very, very straightforward. That's what they are. Okay. Kaplan and STC are not. And again, they're not easy. They are actually challenging you, but they are very, very straightforward. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yes. Lucia, get on them. Okay. If you go into, okay. When you go into my option math playlist, start with number 1. It's basic option questions, then hedging, then spreads, then straddles, then options problems, and the option Armageddon. Do them in order. Single options, I think it's called basic, then hedging, then spreads, then straddles, then the option problems. By the end of that, you'll be great. And then find my options Armageddon. No, I don't think it matters. Percentage is percentage, Jack, right? So if you do, it doesn't help you or hurt you. So if everyone tries to do this like crazy math, I'm like, well, I took a vendor and I got 70, I took 85, but they don't count. No, count them. Your percentage is your percentage. Don't say, oh, I scored 53 out of 85. I would have been good. Don't think that way. Whatever your percentage is, your percentage is, okay? Now, you gain points because usually if you know your shit, you'll do better on the real exam than on the vendors. I promise that. If you know your shit and you've studied and you learn the whys and the hows, you will do better on the real exam than the vendors because the vendors try to trick you. Okay. Yeah, Haley, do it. We're going to nail this. Be confident, baby. Okay. Okay. It's very easy. I think it's easy. So now, call spreads are buy a call, sell a call. It's literally, remember, spreads have 2 calls, okay? Spreads have 2 calls or 2 puts. That's the start, okay? That's the first thing, okay? Now, spreads have 2 calls. Put spreads have 2 puts. Okay. Now, trying to shut this down. There we go. Now, the question is, how do I know if it's a debit or credit? You need to find the dominant option. The dominant option is the one with the bigger premium, if they give premiums. So if you buy a call, a 50 call with an 8 premium and sell a 60 call with a 3 premium, the 8 is bigger than 3 most of the time. So that's the dominant. If the dominant is a buy, it's a debit. If the dominant is a sell, it's a credit. I can't say that more enough. If the dominant option is a buy, it's a debit. If the dominant option is a sell, it's a credit. Okay. Oh, by the way, Haley, don't go to my website and buy them. Do the membership. Because if you go to the website, you're going to pay $60 for 4 videos, where if you do the membership, you pay $20 for 23 videos and old classes. Now, back to this. So if I have a spread, a 50 call spread and a 60 call spread, I have to figure out which is dominant. So what does a call give me the right to do? A call gives you the right to buy. So I'd rather buy at 50 than 60. So if the 50 is the dominant, if that's a buy, it's a debit. If it's a sell, it's a credit. Remember, debit means buy, credit means sell. Get that in your head. Buy means debit, sell means credit. Buy means debit, sell means credit. So if the dominant is a buy, it's a debit. If the dominant is a sell, it's a credit. So if you have 2 puts, a 60 put and a 50 put, puts give you the right to sell. So the higher strike is always the dominant. So if the higher strike is a buy, it's a debit. If the higher strike is a sell, it's a credit. I do these in my videos. Okay. Kyle's funny. He's hanging out with Bernie Madoff. Well, used to be. Club Fed, baby. Bones, man, walk it. Outstanding. We got to play a little something for you. Not that one, not that one, not that one. Boom, baby. That is outstanding. Okay, back to the chat. Bone man walking, I love it. Okay. What text? So the textbook I used to talk about, it's either STC, whatever. Here's the thing. So any video, right? So if you have Kaplan, the Kaplan textbook, you can buy. I have links for STC and Achievable in my videos. You can buy either one. STC is great. For the SIE, Achievable is the best, okay? But they don't have a hardcover. It's all online. Okay. Now I want to see these answers, okay? I see a never. So anyway, before I move on, the books, either go to Cap and Learn, I think. If you want the books I talk about, STC and Achievable, go in any one of my other videos, and it's in the description. And there's links, and both of them should have a discount link. Okay. So Jacob reads them. Ella, good, I like it. Jack does not read them. Jack, what are you doing? Okay. Kyle, no. You being a dick? Samantha, no. Well, you pass, so I don't care. Okay. There you go. So look at that. Haley, welcome in. Big mistake. Okay. So I like this. I'm reading them all. Yes, 100%. Yes. Reddit screenshot. There you go. Miss Case sample. I love it. Okay. Yes, Haley. I love it. Okay. Yeah, I'll hit the springing power of attorney. Okay. Look at Owen McNeese. Okay. So Lisa, I put the the night before video. I have whole play. I can do that. Hold on. So I see. So anyone who doesn't read the answers on the right ones, you're giving up easy points. You're giving up learning. Okay. You got to go over the. So I say you got to go over the right ones, because you don't want to get them right because you're guessing. It's literally moronic to not read the answers for the right ones. It's not a waste of time. It is the best way to do that. Jeff, you want to add anything to that?
You'll just score extra points on the exam.
Yeah.
It's an area you're confident in, and then you'll be even more confident and not make any mistakes or just expand upon an area that you're really good at.
And then you might realize shit that you don't know.
Correct. And like you're saying, you're just reconfirming that your thought process was the same as the question. You want to make sure that you answered it correctly for the right reason. Good.
Now, Lisa, I put the night before playlist in, and then I put, this is a great one for the 7. Lisa, I hope you're taking this 7, I think. Okay. You did. Okay. The second one is called, these are challenging questions. These are possibly questions people might have seen on the exam, and they're really hard questions, so I show how to do it. You might see some of those questions on the exam. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you will. I'm just saying maybe I got lucky. Okay. So, it's right there. Now, before I move on to other stuff, springing power of attorney. Boing. Okay. Springing power of attorney. It's very cool, Sue. So let's say I have my daughter. I'm leaving my money to my daughter or whatever. And I mean, look, you know me, you've seen me. What are the chances I get Alzheimer's within the next 10 years? I'm just nuts. Okay. So if I go nuts, okay, now there's a really good chance of this. Okay. So now, I mean, I'm probably halfway there anyway. If they decide, so I don't want anyone to have control of my account until I'm actually incapacitated, literally, feeding me soup. Okay. I don't want anyone to touch my account to them because I'm a cocky bastard. I think I'll live forever, but I'll live as a vegetable the last 800 years. Now, I don't want anyone touching my account until I'm incapacitated. So now, regular power of attorney, when I'm becoming incapacitated, it ends. Durable power of attorney, it stays until I die, even if I become incapacitated. But they have access before that. Springing power of attorney doesn't go into effect until I'm incapacitated. So if I'm of right sound mind and body, they don't have access. But once I'm off my rocker, then they get control. So springing power of attorney doesn't spring into effect until I'm considered incapacitated. Okay. Hope that helps a little bit. I definitely had a question on that on my 7. I'm just saying. Okay. Eric, SEC. Okay. So that's a great question. SEC thinks is like the criminal end of it. Okay. Think big picture. They'll come in like once every 5 years and inspect. They're more about the money. and the criminal side. Okay. They will come and inspect, make sure you follow the rules, and they will inspect you to make sure you follow the rules for MSRB. But they trust FINRA to do most of the dog work. They trust FINRA to do a lot of the heavy lifting and all the little shit, like coming in there every other year and every 3 years, whatever it is. And that's what they do. I mean, that's the difference. Really, most of it's that FINRA's an SRO and run by membership, and it should be gone, but whatever. And the SEC is the federal government, okay? SEC is too big to worry about the little stuff. Now, remember, FINRA regulates broker-dealers and agents and exchanges. The SEC regulates broker-dealers, agents, exchanges, securities, investment advisors, investment advisor reps, all of to anything that does securities, the SEC regulates. FINRA only does broker-dealers, agents, and exchanges. They don't do IAs. They don't do IARs. They don't do securities. Everyone thinks they do securities. They don't. And I think we hit the end. Lisa, I'm not the best. You're the best. Okay. That is outstanding, people. We got through my hard 9 stop didn't work out so well, did it?
Close enough.
It never does. Okay. Everyone, I think we did well. We did some damage here. I think I'm cutting off the questions now. And I talk a little bit because I know one's going to pop in. By the way, Maria, Peyton, and where's my other girl? Welcome to the club. You're going to love this stuff. You're going to love them. Somebody joined early before I started. I couldn't start it up here, but that's awesome. Okay. Everyone, I'll try to not be as orange next time. Orange. Although orange is in now, right? Our president is orange. Okay. So now, I will see you guys. Have a great weekend. I'm going to, I won't see you till next week. I'm going to Pennsylvania to teach for 2 days. If you're taking the 65 or 66, please show up Thursday. If you want to join the memberships and have a little more fun on Friday nights, it's a Zoom thing, a lot of back and forth, a lot of good stuff. You bring in questions. It's very personal. That's a mere $50 a month. Or if you want to just do the FINRA class, it's a mere $25 a month. And we go from there. Anything else, Jeff?
I think that's it. If you have any questions, just send me an email.
Yep. Email Jeff at Captain Advantage Tuning if you want. By the way, don't forget, if you guys don't know how to study and you're worried about like a study plan, pay him. He will fucking walk you through it. And he's like he says it's 30 minutes, always like 45 minutes. He's going through that. So he'll go through your stuff. He'll go through your scores. He's not a tutor. He does not answer questions. He can. He knows his stuff, but we don't do that. He's a specialist in how to get you ready to take the test. And he's been doing it for a while now, so he knows his shit. Call him the doctor, baby. Okay, everyone, y'all have a good night.